Hi, and welcome to the Monetize Your Mission Mastermind for Monday, February 16th, 2026. And today we are going to be talking all about Pinterest, Skool, and um, Substack. And wow, this has been such a cool discovery for me in terms of how powerful Pinterest can be when it comes to um, generating kind of stealthy um, traffic to whatever you're doing on both School and Substack. And this is not going to be about creating a Pinterest account for yourself, though there are communities over on School that are designed to show you how to go from 0 to 60 in that realm. I was once a Pinterest VA about 5 years ago. That's what I was doing on the internet, and I was really good at it. But Pinterest has changed, and I've come back to Pinterest in terms of I I want to use it as a way to drive traffic, but allow others to use it as a bookmarking tool for the content that we're creating. So we're going to be looking at this from the perspective of the pinner rather than from a marketing perspective of creating pins and putting pins directly on Pinterest from stuff that we're creating ourselves, though we will touch on that too, because that's kind of an important element. So, how many people here have Pinterest accounts already? Okay. So, of the three people who are here with us and interacting, everybody has one. We're not sure about Alex, but let me just check the messages to see if he's chimed in over here. Oh, had one not active. All right. So everybody has access to a Pinterest account. This is good because you can pin your own content manually on Pinterest, and we'll walk through how to do that. But it, it, old accounts are gold because they've been around and they're very seasoned. So when you start pinning on them again, it kind of wakes up your older pins a little bit. Um, so let's start with, hold on. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to start with Skool first. So I just want to walk you through how easy this is. So if you will create pin size images for your posts on Skool, then people who come along can pin your content over on their Pinterest account. People use Pinterest like a bookmarking site. In terms of they create a board, say they're looking to create maybe I was just talking with Deb and she's getting ready to get married. So we were talking about creating a Pinterest board about stuff about her wedding. And so as she's going out looking at different websites, she can pin those websites to her wedding planning board. So when she wants to find all those websites again, maybe she's just getting ideas together, she can find them easily just by going to her Pinterest account, going to that board and looking back through it. The pictures will jog her memory. And when you pin on Pinterest from other boards, Pinterest will give you some ideas of things that you can purchase that are in the same vein. Because Pinterest is a search engine, but it's also about buying on the platform now. They're really big about that. So from your readers or members' perspective, when they're saving this content, like if somebody comes along and wants to save this to their to their Pinterest board on, you know, say you've got a board about uh, Pinterest marketing, and you want to add your referral link. I made a video about this yesterday, but your referral link, you go to the invite members thing, and you're going to get the whole long piece here. All you need is this from the question mark back. You copy that. You go over to the URL for the post. You paste that, and then you go to that. You let that load because that will keep the pin. And then you come over here to your little um, Pinterest extension, pin it extension. You can get this by going to your extensions purchasing thing or downloading space. For me, you just click the little dots over here and you go to extensions and you get extensions for Microsoft Edge, and it works like that for Firefox and for Chrome as well. Okay, so the next step is to click the pin it button, and this is what people will do. They'll click on it and then they'll go next. And then it will load all the boards that they have. And maybe they have a pinning board. I'm gonna pin this to Etsy marketing strategies um because I can. Um and then if you go and view it and you click on the visit site, you'll notice it has your referral link there. It sticks. So if anybody joins this community from that pin, it will get tagged to you. And if they decide to upgrade along the way, you get 40% commission because I pay affiliate commissions. So this is an easy way to do affiliate marketing in communities that you're already participating in, that you love, and you're kind of sharing the love all over the place. So that's why it's really kind of important for you to put 2:3 ratio uh, images on your Substack posts. All right, so let's answer any questions people have about Substack right now, and then we will move on to Substack. Do we have questions? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, so on to Substack. You can do Pinterest images with both notes and with your articles. So this is an example of a pin that is just a note. So again, as somebody that is over here looking at content and they see this and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool. I want that on my Pinterest board." They can just hit the pin extension. And you can do this for other people too. And again, click that image and you find the board you want it to go on and you just put it on that board. And then when it comes to creating content, we already need to create a main image for that's landscape for SEO purposes, because this shows up in the search engines and it shows up on your main page. But you can also create a pin. This is a long pin. If you remind people to save it for later, it helps them understand that they can just pin it. And a lot of people will have this little pin icon. Do you see that little pin thing there? They could just hit that and figure out which board they want to save it to and click save, and it's done. So it's a way to help other people help you by giving them something that they can pin over on their Pinterest board. And people really do pin from other spaces onto Pinterest. That's what Pinterest was developed for, rather than having people go on Pinterest and search for things. Like you can you can go to Pinterest and you can search Pinterest for um let's do monetize your mission. We're searching all the pins, and this is what is coming up here. And so people will click on all of, whatever they feel inspired to click on. That is how people search over here on Pinterest for things. But it doesn't just stop um, with this piece. It also is that Pinterest images show up in Google. On the top is see how these images get into Google? And some of these could be pins. They aren't pins here, but this is podcast and Substack. Um, but you get the idea. I'll just put Pinterest on here so that you can see it. I think this is a pin. This looks like it's pin sized. Is this making sense to you guys? Oh, here's my pin. This is a pinnable image. You see how it showed up? Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about creating the pin yourself. So in order to create a pin, you just come over to your main uh, profile and you hit create and create pin. And you can either save it from the site, which will give you a space to put the URL in. It's better to just post from the site, in my opinion, than to do that. But you put your image in here. We'll do this one. And then you're going to choose your board. I'm going to put this on all about mom. Happy mom mindset. And sometimes this is a group board that I'm posting this to. Sometimes there'll be sections on a group board because otherwise it's just like a hodgepodge of stuff. Um, we'll title this Your Mind Deserves Freedom for Happy Moms. And then this is what I would do. Would take the image over to ChatGPT and ask it to please create a title and description for this pin for the board section. Happy moms on Pinterest. And then you can just copy this. Do that. And then you want to add alt text. You get 500 characters here, so kind of important to fill it up. So let me get this. B. I like to put spaces in my stuff because people don't like walls of text. And then I'm going to just start right here, highlight all that, and I'm going to come back down here to the alt text part and add that part in. Um, mm, we have a, I'm just going to invite them to the Skool community. I actually have a page that would have other quotes on it, but it's best if you can send them someplace where they're going to see something that's going to help them even more with what the pin is about. But for this pin, we're just going to go with this. If you want to add more pins, if you have an older account, you can just hit create carousel and then you can have a series of pins, um, or images. So it looks like a carousel like you would have on Instagram. You could do that here as well. Um, if you have a newer account, they've hidden it. It's in the advertising section, and you have to put multiple images on there, and then it will ask you if you want to make it a carousel pin. It's super confusing, but you can do it on all the accounts. It's just some accounts it's more hidden than others. This is a much older account. My newer account, I was really struggling to find the carousel pins. So we also want to put hashtags on this, like 2 or 3 hashtags is um, like the happy space with Pinterest now. And those go up here in the description and put a space in there. And that's it. Hit publish. All done. I do want to encourage you to not be afraid to post other people's stuff or to reshare other people's stuff. And to maybe even you have a variety of boards on your account that aren't necessarily all about, what you're doing. There are people out there that use Pinterest for specifically for marketing, and all they do is they have a variety of accounts and they only post their own content. Pinterest wasn't designed for that. I think Pinterest does reward you for using the platform in the way that the platform was intended to be used. So, while it's not likely that you're going to start getting a bazillion clicks with your first 2 or 3 pins, this is a space where um, volume adds up over time. And I've had pins go viral, like hundreds of thousands of uh, views or impressions and thousands of clicks. I had a Pinterest account that was attached to a website that I had about homesteading, and that specific pin um, got it just it flooded the website with traffic, and it lasted for a long time, like almost a year of consistent traffic from that pin. So it's every time you post a pin, you're adding one more opportunity to get found and to go viral. There are tools out there you can use, but for the most part with Substack and with Skool communities, if you just remember to put the pinnable images on your posts and your articles, everybody else will kind of do the work for you, so you don't have to spend a lot of time over on Pinterest creating pins. Um, does this make sense to everyone? Do we have questions, feedback,
What
ideas,
makes
thoughts?
I got a question for you.
Mhm.
What makes a image pinnable?
Almost all images are pinnable. Pinterest likes long, thinner images. Like a
Okay.
1,000 by 1,500 is the standard size. Though you can do videos. Like if you're creating video shorts, you could definitely post those over here, and they do well. Pinterest wants videos on here.
Also, I saw in the chat that Chelina asked, she was asking why you repeated the copy in the alt text.
Because it gives Pinterest one more chance to figure out what your pin is about. Pinterest can read the image and it will read it'll read the alt text, and the alt text is for people that can't see the image. And so you want to be able to help them understand what the pin is about. And so you get 500 characters in there. Let's let's let it read it to them. So if they can't see the picture, they can hear what it's about and perhaps click over to the website and take action there. Does that make sense, Chelina? Okay. I got a thumbs up, so I'm hoping that means okay.
So are you
Okay.
saying, Jill, are you saying that like if so like if I put a note, let's just for example, if I put a note on Substack, are
Mhm.
you saying like if I put like a Pinterest style image on that note or a post on Substack, like I will open it up to be more shareable. It'll open it up potentially pinned from someone who likes to use Pinterest.
Mhm.
But if I don't have an image on there, then it's not probably not going to happen.
Correct.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
There are people that like maybe it's just me, but if there's an opportunity for me to pin something from somebody, I'll do it. Like Maria didn't mean to put pinnable images, I don't think, on her post this morning, but there were pinnable images there, so I pinned them. I have a board for it, and yeah, so she got 4 views that she wouldn't have normally gotten, and she's on this episode. So you guys can go find the Soul Stylist Studio over on Substack and see Maria's post all about Sapphire. Um, yeah, and as a user on Substack, you can also save other people's content. Like this is a kind of a pinnable image, and I could pin this to my desserts board. I think I have a desserts board. It just kind of helps everybody else. Do I have desserts? We'll just put it in the cookie recipes. There. They probably didn't even suspect that their pin could be suddenly amongst other pins. And they created that post. Oh, that was me. Actually, it was a repin of somebody else's. It was Sal's. Um, but like your content, this could be pinned as you're just going through. This could be pinned. That could be pinned.
When you say that people use Pinterest as kind of a bookmarking site,
Mhm.
like what do you mean by that? I mean, I know what a bookmark is, but I mean like how does this look like in the wild? Like what is my use case for Pinterest? Like what am I using it for? Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Most people, when they come to Pinterest, this is what they're saying.
Okay.
Pinterest will just give them stuff that they think they'll be interested in, mostly based off the stuff that they were already looking at or posting about. Okay. This shows you what I was looking at. As this that was curated specifically for me, but if I wanted to go over to the Explore tab, these are ideas that um, Pinterest thinks I might be interested in. Pinterest is about inspiring action. Okay, so when you create content over here, it's to inspire people to take action and ultimately to purchase something, hopefully off of Substack so they can make, or Pinterest so they can make money. Pinterest does have advertising. People do pay for advertising over here. And they're connected to Etsy and Zazzle and eBay. So people can upload their uh, product catalogs over here.
I see they're getting like 1 billion visitors a month on Pinterest. So
Oh,
it's
oh,
there's a
oh,
lot of
yeah.
people using Pinterest. So.
There are a lot of people using Pinterest, and don't believe that old thing that Pinterest is just for women. It's just not true. Men come over here and search it and um, get inspired. There are all kinds of different. There's just so much over here. For a long time, Pinterest was getting all the Google love. This is maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15. I don't know how old Pinterest is, but it's been around for quite a while. And in the beginning, every time you went to Google to search something, you were getting fed a Pinterest pin and they were gating it. So you had to have a Pinterest account in order to see that pin. Don't know if you remember those days, but then Google did their little thing that they always do and knocked them back. And so they recovered. It took them a few years to actually recover from that. And then they had Tailwind come along, which is a posting platform. It was the only one. I don't know if it still is, but it was the only one that was approved by Pinterest. There were some others, but they really don't like you posting, auto posting into boards not on the platform. So if you're going to create pins for your content, do it on the platform, like I showed you how to do it here, um, or pin from other places, other websites onto your boards. Pinterest likes it that. That's how Pinterest was designed to be used. Um, can it be used in other ways to make gobs of money? Yes, it can. And you can use affiliate. You can go to Amazon and find stuff in your niche or Warriors Plus or Skool, doing Skool communities. Skool itself pays commission for people to start communities. So if you want to make, pins to get people to go over to Skool and use your referral link, you can make affiliate commissions doing that. And, you get enough of them going and it becomes a viable business. You can send them if you have Gumroad accounts. Um, you can send them to your Gumroad courses or products. You can make pins for a variety of things to make money. That's just like because that's ultimately what we're here for, right? Is to make money and get found so we can make money.
Do you think it's better to like pin to like a board that you created, or do you think it's better to like pin to an existing board in the Pinterest community somewhere?
You can only pin to boards you create,
Okay, gotcha.
and you should SEO them in terms of, making like Pinterest marketing. It's a big thing, but if you have um if you have Pinterest marketing in the top line, and then in the description, you talk about Pinterest marketing and the other keywords, the long tail keywords in there, like Pinterest marketing for coaches and spiritual entrepreneurs, or Pinterest marketing for stay-at-home moms, or Pinterest marketing for affiliate marketers. You can kind of put all of those into the description and a couple hashtags in there. And then everything that you pin to that board is about Pinterest marketing. If you can keep it kind of tight like that, you're going to have a better chance of the pins getting organized properly in Pinterest algorithms so it shows up on those in the discovery feed for those SEO keywords. The longer tail you go, the more likely you are to rank in in the discovery feed, but they've got those little bubbles, and those little bubbles along the top. You know what I'm talking about? On Pinterest, when I did that search, there were like for coaches, for spiritual entrepreneurs, for moms who stay at home. When it comes to like Pinterest marketing, if you each one of those is clickable and it's a deeper dive, and then you click on the bubbles that are there, and it goes, you just keep adding uh, the qualifiers onto it to make a really long tail keyword. Um, but people are looking for those long-tailed keywords over on Pinterest, and they will find you and repin your stuff. But more importantly, and it's really not about the impressions, it's about the clicks, or all about the clicks.
I see that Chelina asked you another question. She was asking, do you recommend pin clicks, and how would we use that tool if you do?
Um, I know Tony. I actually interviewed him on my podcast, and I know Carly, his partner. Um, they're not partners with the married, so they're just partners for this podcast that they do. Um, I don't, I use pin clicks. I don't, I don't really know enough about pin clicks to actually help people with that. So I would strongly recommend that you talk to Adams about that. I know you're in his community, Chelina, which he knows a lot about it. In fact, he and I did a call the other day where he helped me to figure it out for my own, for what I'm doing on my own, but the other Pinterest account that I have. So hopefully that will help you. And I see there's another. Yeah, you are a great wingman, Kent. I second that. Um, so yeah, I'll post Tim's community link below this replay so that other people can find it too. It's a great resource, and really, I joined his community, and then I discovered, oh my cow, you can pin from Skool. We should all be doing this. Why post a GIF when you could post something that's going to be like living evergreen on somebody's YouTube or Pinterest channel? And you can pin YouTube videos over there too, and shorts.
What about like podcast episodes from like Substack or whatever?
Yeah, I've started making pins for mine. Um, hold on, and I'll show you what I mean. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's a little weird. Um, Nothing like jumping into the middle of a conversation. I made this pin from this pin, and so
Nice.
I pinned it myself in my podcast board on my podcast board, but other people can pin it if they want to save it, bookmark it
That's cool. Are you saying
for.
like when you were talking about those videos, are you saying that like Pinterest wants us to put video on Pinterest or is it like not a difference between just like pinning something from YouTube or pinning something from Substack that happens to be a video? Are you saying you think that they kind of want native video up on their platform?
They don't want native video. They don't have a way to have native video up there, not like
Okay.
Substack does. But I know you do shorts, right?
Sometimes,
So
yeah.
shorts are like a great thing to post over on Pinterest. And I know they'll suck your information off of like your Instagram's channel right over to your Pinterest account. So if you have
That's
stories
cool.
or
That's
video
really
from
cool.
there, yeah, it's like a lot of these platforms are starting to get it that we don't have all the time in the world to spend like putting our content on every single platform. So some of them are trying to make it easier for us to just reshare in different spaces. And if you're already doing the content, if it's already up here as a note, just click the buttons. I'm both about like simple. Anything else we can answer for anybody on Pinterest and Substack or Pinterest and Skool or just Pinterest in general? Alex, you've been very quiet. I'm checking the chat in case you want to chat with us.
I think this is exciting, Jill. This is really cool. I mean, Pinterest is getting 1 billion visitors a month, and what you described here today doesn't seem like that hard to do. In addition to what you might already be doing, this doesn't seem like it's too big of a, you know, add to your workload. So
Right, because nobody has time to like, okay, now we got to do something totally different. That it's really simple to take an image that you already have to create or that you've already created and you just drop it into to your favorite AI and you say, hey, turn this into a Pinterest pin image. You need to tell it to Pinterest pin image. And it can take it all together, and then you've got your pin, and you just stick it up on your post. And if you want to pin it yourself, just do what I did here. You drop the pin back in there and say, create a title and description, tell it which board it's going on to, so that it knows how to do the SEO correctly for you, and then copy and paste. Super simple and not having to do more things. Like we got Henry creating pins for he's doing a bake along on Saturday for cinnamon rolls. Um,
Shalina was asking, how many pins a week do you like? Should you be pinning? Do you think?
um, I, it really depends on what you're doing, like, and what your time frame is. Some people are like one a day. Some are 10 a day. It also depends on pinning other people's content in with your stuff. You don't want to be flooding your boards in the beginning with a whole bunch of just your stuff. Um, I don't think. It's just me personally, but you need to have some mix in there of your stuff and other people's stuff and sharing the love and stuff from different links. Um, and so you could post one pin a day. My point in this Mastermind is to get you to create pins for all of your content, not on Pinterest, so that other people will do your pinning for you. That's where the like the secret sauce is in all of this. And I tried to show you how to maximize pinning other people's content so you get the affiliate link for it should they decide that they want to um, join another community that's not your community. A lot of people have offer affiliate links. Even free communities now may later become paid communities. So, and communities that are hobby on the hobby plan on Skool, they don't have the ability to offer um, commissions, I don't believe. I could be wrong on this one. Um, Searching my brain to try to remember. I don't think they can, but those hobby communities, if they take off, will become premium communities because it just makes more sense to be a premium community in terms of collecting payments over there. A hobby community, they take 10%. Premium community, it's like 2 or 3%, 2 to 3%. So it's a big difference if you're running payments through the platform, which, everybody has their own idea about how that's going to look. And I'm not here to tell you one way is better than the other. The best way is the way that works for you. Um, but you did that thing, Cam, where you broke down viability on a Skool community.
Yeah, yeah. I vibe coded it. So I really didn't do nothing. I entered in a couple of prompts and I think I used Lovable to do that. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a little calculator. You can type in like how much you want to charge in your community and how many people you need before it becomes like better to have the pro plan versus the hobby plan. Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know.
It was really cool. It was kind of eye-opening. All right, we
Schools.
got
Go ahead.
three more messages here. Mm. Oh, you can offer commissions on modules with a hobby community. That's kind of cool. So I'm guessing Christina's talking about in the classroom. You can offer commissions in the classroom on um, on the paid products that you have in there. So on School you can have in your classroom you can segregate it to people have to pay for the course or they can get the course for free. Oh, enter coming in. And she would like to access your app, Kim. I know you posted it over in my community.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted there. Yeah, I'll get the link to that after and I'll post it in your community again so you can mess with that
Okay.
if you want to.
Yeah, we'll put the link to that post in the community too, in the show notes. Anything else we can chat about, or are you all pinned?
I'm excited. I want to try to incorporate this some way into what I do. I think this is cool.
Yeah, and just telling people, hey, when you do those shorts for your videos, your lives, in your notes, just hey, did you know you could pin this for later or pin it and share it with your friends? Um, we need to let people know that it's possible, especially on Substack, because I don't think people realize that it's possible on Substack. But yeah, it's a thing, and it really can generate a lot of traffic.
I didn't think about those pins that you put like for your podcast episodes, like the pinned graphic underneath there, so
Mhm.
people can just like pin that podcast episode to their Pinterest. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And it's more in line with what Pinterest wants over there. Because a lot of people on Pinterest use their phones, so they're scrolling. And if you use up all the real estate, then you're not like getting squished down. Because if you use a little square, they're going to try to stack your content with other people's little content, and then they can't see it. So it's really designed for phone users, phone app users. So if you just keep these things in mind, it could be so powerful. And it compounds over time. Like you post, you just keep posting pins on Pinterest and sharing when you come across shareable, pinnable content, you share that, and eventually you're gonna find momentum happens on a couple of your pins, and it'll start generating clicks. You can see down here some of my older pins. This is my other account. So this one has 436 impressions and two clicks. This account isn't a really great example account because A, I haven't used it in a long time. And B, it wasn't all that active when I was using it. It's just kind of one of those other accounts. I'll show you my Coach's Alchemist account. This one is much newer, but the pins are getting a lot more momentum. And even though it doesn't look like a lot of clicks, it's these repins and these clicks that we're looking for because that's where the money is,
Hey Jill,
be honest.
what subjects do you find that people are clicking on the most for you? Like what do you find them to be most interested in as far as like what they're pinning from you and stuff?
Probably creating podcasts because that's a lot of where I started. I have like podcasting tips, start a podcast, get started on Substack, blogging on Substack. I just did this because I was testing something in that other community that I created. And this is a board that Tim Adams created. It's a community board. And sometimes creating community boards really helps get pins seen. Make sense?
Yeah, totally. That's really I need to do a little bit more research on Pinterest. I definitely don't know enough about this platform.
I strongly recommend that you join Tim's community because he's all about that. And it he can help you a lot. Just his free stuff is super helpful to get started on Pinterest. And then there's all kinds of more and more. It's like all those things that you can do. It can mushroom, but if you just keep it simple and you understand what you want out of the platform, then you start with like 10 boards, 10 really focused boards on what you want to be known for. And then make sure that you're posting pinnable content whenever you create content, and it will get pinned. All right, everybody. I think we're going to call this a wrap for this week. Go forth, make pins. Let me pin them for you. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Take care, all.